Hey Mike, thought I'd give you some help on your oil filter on your 190 SL. There are two types of oil filters, and here's what the parts book shows. And you've got, this is the complete assembly, and this is what it looks like in pieces. And this represents a seal at the bottom, and this is a seal that goes underneath here, and you've got a nut that holds this whole assembly together on that big threaded tube that you say is coming out of the top of your oil filter. Now then, this is the next generation, which is just an oil filter. See, there's no, you get this screen, and I'll show you this in a second. Now then, in terms of which filter goes where, the split was in 1959 in the 81st engine made. Actually, the 81st engine made was the last engine to use this old style. So your motor number would be stamped on the block. It'd be 9500081. And up to that engine number, everybody would use this old style. And after 9500082, you would use this style. Is it 82 or 81 or 91? Let's check here. Footnote number 4. 81. Okay. All right. Now this is what they look like in real life. Here's the old style, and unfortunately I don't have the correct size screen, so you're going to have to imagine that this screen drops inside here, and then this oil filter goes all the way down inside, and once this oil filter is in place, you then have this aluminum cap which fits in here very snugly and is all held in place by this nut, and this in turn fits into the adapter that's on the block, and everything fits in here very, very snugly. So I mean, it's a nice tight fit, so you don't have any oil leaks, and so your oil is actually filtered, going through the rock strainer, which is on the outside, which is just very fine windings, and then through the paper element. And this is the type that I believe you have, and unfortunately someone has made the mistake of thinking that you can use this oil filter in this canister, and while you can, it also means things are not going to work very well. So I'm not quite sure what you got going on over there. So the later style filter is this one here, and it's a much simpler situation. Simply, you've got that goes in there, and you've got a seal up at the top that most people forget to replace, and that goes right there, and that's all there is to it. Obviously, you've got a ring in here, a seal ring, which comes with the seal kit, and that goes in there, and it all fits together very nicely. One of the mistakes that people make is that with the seal ring being in here for a long time and being in compression and full of oil, a lot of times people will not realize that there's a seal ring in here, because that ring, when it gets compressed, it actually looks like a piece of steel. It's especially common to have it happen in this canister, which is cast iron. It's another difference, cast iron and aluminum. And what people do is make the mistake of not removing the seal and then stack another one on top of there. And what happens is you will have this thing sticking up about like this, and that's not the way it's supposed to be going together. It goes down snug like this with the seal under compression. So always make sure that you got your two parts fitting together very nicely. Another problem people have, another mistake they make, is they don't realize that there's a seal down at the bottom. Now, I don't have one of these to show you, but it fits underneath. Maybe you can hear the difference. It's a steel ring right there. That's the aluminum, and then this is rubber right here. Same thing down below in these on this old style. Should be able to see it down there. It's a rubber ring that needs to be replaced. I replace them probably every 2 oil changes. And the same is true on this upper part. It stays with the engine. Very few people will replace this, and it's just a rubber ring that comes off. And again, these should be, if it feels hard, then it needs to be replaced. Another thing to notice is the 2 types of oil filter units. This housing right here, they're different thicknesses in terms of the bolts used. So the reason I'm mentioning that is because if you have this style of filter, you are not getting any. When you have this type of oil filter you're trying to fit in there, you're not going to get correct oil filtration. So you may end up having to find a good used unit that you can bolt in place, which is, they have the same basic pattern here, so that's not a problem. So they're interchangeable in that regard. And this later style unit was fitted onto just about every 4 and 6 cylinder engine up until about 70, well, and variations up until 71 probably. I hope that this helps explain what you've got and what. Oh, also I forgot to mention, there's a seal ring underneath here, so that when this fits down against the oil filter, it's this is where you're sealing to force the oil through the filter. So, hope that helps.